watching Fox 10 Phoenix. Now.
Car fire breaking out along the Loop 101 and the I-17 ramp. It was a single vehicle crash. Looks like it hit the barrier there and then quickly caught on fire. The good news, no one was hurt. Officials were able to quickly put that fire out and reopen the ramp.
So an interesting case here out of Tempe, a fire investigation underway at a storage facility near Rural and University. Several agencies battled the fire. This is the second day in a row we've seen a case just like this here in the Valley. No one was hurt. It comes just one day, as I mentioned, after a different storage fire. That one was in North Phoenix. It had damaged about 50 to 75 units there in North Phoenix. Investigators are now trying to figure out if both of these are connected and how they both started.
We're also learning more about an early morning house fire. Gilbert firefighters battling a fire near Power and Ocotillo roads. We are told 2 people were checked out for smoke inhalation, but both of those injuries reported do not appear to be severe. The cause of the fire still under investigation.
We have some new details this morning following a deadly shooting. It was Tuesday morning near 19th Avenue in Camelback. Police identifying the man as 31-year-old Trevon Brown. He was found suffering after being shot at least one time. First responders who showed up there on scene, they rushed him to the hospital where sadly he later died. And officials have now interviewed multiple people as they try to find out how this whole thing happened. No word on any possible suspects at this time.
Turning now to a story that could impact your wallet, especially if you are an SRP customer. Those rates could soon be going up.
So the Board of Supervisors for SRP will hold a special meeting to discuss and decide on a possible rate hike. Danielle Miller live with the details this morning. Hey, Danielle.
Hey, good morning. So SRP customers, they could potentially be seeing a 3.5% increase, which means about $5 more or so on their residential electric bill. So SRP says that it's looking to increase its revenue base by $168.8 million to pay for power system upgrades. It also addresses an anticipated $67.7 million decline in fuel and purchased power revenues. The plan would also have several adjustments. Those include increasing the limited income economy price plan bill credit to $25 a month and expand its eligibility. It would also create tiered residential monthly service charges and create new price plans with super off-peak daytime time of use hours. SRP would also freeze new participation in some current time of use price plans. 2 open houses were held last month where stakeholders, they got with the public. They all voiced their concerns, their opinions on this plan. The board says it also reviewed hundreds of public comments. So if approved, the plan would go into effect for the November billing cycle. We're told that this meeting is supposed to happen right around 9:30 this morning, something we'll definitely be keeping a close eye on to see exactly what comes from this meeting. We'll send it back to you guys.
All right, Danielle, thank you. Budget cuts being made by DOGE have now hit the Valley, and a handful of staff at the VA hospital have been laid off.
Yeah, we talked to one employee. She taught music therapy at the VA hospital to about 50 to 60 vets every single week. She says it helped them with mental health issues, drug abuse and PTSD, and even end-of-life care. She says she had a great performance review and had worked there since April of last year. But she and several co-workers were what they called probationary employees, and she found out that she was laid off through an email.
They've served, they've worked so hard, and a lot of them are facing a lot of challenges coping with civilian life and coping with the PTSD.
The Phoenix VA hospital says a limited number of staff were dismissed this week, and it should not have any impact on health care benefits or other services. Meantime, people may start feeling the impacts of DOGE cuts at the Grand Canyon.
Yeah, folks from across the country, they took a visit to the Grand Canyon celebrating its 106th birthday yesterday. Take a look at the video we have for you this morning. The line to get into the canyon was slow moving, lots of cars there and traffic, dozens of visitors They were just watching the clock thinking, how fast am I going to be able to run through this line? And it was pretty slow. This comes after the Trump administration cut 1,000 jobs from the National Park Service, arguing this will save the American taxpayer billions of dollars, making the system more cost-effective and efficient. Our Fox 10 crew spent Wednesday at the Grand Canyon and had a pretty difficult time finding visitors who are happy about the long wait.
It's a bit of a travesty that public servants and national park staff have to face, unplanned cuts that won't truly save our budget from a $4.5 trillion tax cut for wealthy people, and find it somewhere else, because there's plenty of ruthless spending that happens that isn't part of America's heritage.
Well, according to the Sierra Club, in 2023, there were 325.5 million visitors to the national parks. The National Park Conservation Association warns that because of the cuts to staff, folks may need to take into consideration they won't get the full experience there at the canyon over the course of the summer. Of course, not the only organization, though, affected by the cuts. Arizona man accused of killing his young daughter is officially facing some charges.
Yeah, and the details in the story is just heartbreaking. A grand jury has indicted a man named Adam Montoya on 2 felony counts. The Sholo father is accused of shooting his 13-month-old daughter with an AR-15 in front of the child's mother. Montoya is now being held on a $1 million bond. He's due back in court next month. A bill making its way through the legislature would expand the criteria for a silver alert to people with disabilities.
So parents Heather Marlowe and Alicia Zaccoli, they are behind this House Bill 2894. Both experienced having pain of their teen child, of course, after their teenager went missing. In both cases, the teens had a cognitive age of under 10 years old, but only one was found alive. Alicia's son died from an overdose, an outcome that could have been prevented had a silver alert been issued sooner. Now she and Heather, they are looking to make sure no other parent goes through the very same pain.
The community needs to know that these kids matter, and turning away from this and thinking it doesn't matter, to me, is unacceptable.
The bill goes to the House floor today. Supporters say this gives more resources for missing persons, and not just children, but some lawmakers argue the public could be confused while already receiving Amber Alerts. The Arizona State House passing House Bill 2704, which would pay for repairs to Chase Field.
Yeah, the deal would be good for 30 years and use taxes collected from the stadium. State Representative Jeff Wagner, who introduced the bill, says the funds will go to the county, not the Diamondbacks. But critics like Phoenix Mayor Kate Gallego say the tax dollars should be going to public safety. Supporters, meanwhile, say the bill is beneficial in the community nonetheless.
According to the team's own estimates, the bill would take away $15 to $20 million yearly from state and local general funds, diverting funds away from parks, roads, and affordable housing.
We're not pulling from the education, but the rest of the tax and income tax from within the envelope of the stadium would go into a fund that then would go back into the maintenance and improvements of that publicly owned asset.
So if the D-backs leave in the first 10 years, the team would then have to pay a $10 million penalty, and all funds left in the Maricopa County controlled account would revert back to the appropriate government entities. The bill now heads to the Senate for consideration, so we'll keep you posted on this.
I don't think they would leave anyway. You?
I don't think so.
Yeah, we need to do it. So listen to this. Your dog may need to stick to its own side of the car next time you head out in the car for a ride. A new bill in the Arizona legislature would ban driving with a pet on your lap. Violators could see tickets up to $149. Legislators say this is all about safety since pets can cause distractions. In case you were wondering, the bill does not apply to dogs, just to dogs, that is. Cats would also need to stay out of your lap as well. Happening this weekend, ADOT planning another closure on the I-17 as part of their years-long improvement project, but this time it comes with some good news.
We love some good news around here. Dominique is live at the I-17 in Joe Max with what drivers need to know before they head north this weekend. Look at that wind blowing. You look like Beyonce out there this morning.
Got your Beyonce fan. Mother Nature's working it for you.
You guys, I'm going to get blown away into traffic over here. Good morning. Nice and windy this morning. So, yeah, a portion of the southbound I-17 going to be closed starting tomorrow, going into the weekend as well. So some tips, what you need to know. We're joined with Doug this morning from ADOT to give us the full rundown. Good morning to you. But this is some good news. You know, improvement projects are making our roads better, Doug.
Yeah, it is about making the freeway better, nice and smooth pavement. But it's also, the good news is this is the last full closure that we need for this project. Still have some work to come over the next couple of weeks, but we want to emphasize this is an especially tough closure. Southbound at State Route 74, traffic is going to be backing up into the Anthem area. So we're trying to tell folks, don't use the local streets in Anthem as a way to cut through the area. You wind up creating a situation where it's bumper to bumper traffic and you actually lose time. So we're going to try our best to move that traffic along the detour route westbound on State Route 74 to the southbound Lake Pleasant Parkway and then back on Loop 303. So we're going to work as quickly as we can and also get traffic moving on that detour route as quickly as possible.
Yeah, because the whole point with those detour routes, you guys put them into place to try to make the commute, navigating that commute, a little bit shorter. You know, sometimes when you're trying to use your phone GPS, it could make things longer.
You know, it is. We're trying to say, hey, even if a navigation app says use the roads in Anthem, don't listen to that, you know, because you'll wind up saving time if you stay with the I-17 detour, stay on our highway detour route. We just have experience with this, and we know that it's trouble for the folks who live in Anthem. So again, hang in there with us one more weekend, and even try to maybe adjust your travel times later at night, early in the morning. Those hours are better because the traffic volumes are lighter.
And how exactly are these this pavement improvement project improving our roads?
Yeah, it is about what we've done over the last several months is we removed the asphalt pavement that was worn out. We removed that, and then we used a process called diamond grinding to smooth out the concrete pavement of the freeway. So that's what we're going to have. It's longer lasting. It's going to last about 30 years. So we won't have to come back and do that kind of maintenance work. We also replaced the deck joints along the freeway. So everything is updated. It's that kind of thing where we make it safer and we make it longer lasting so we can stay out of your way in the future.
All things we want for sure. So Doug, quick reminder, everybody, starts tomorrow, goes until when?
It's going to be through 5 a.m. Monday morning. So again, State Route 74 down to the 303 is closed. Get ready to use State Route 74 West as part of the detour route.
All right, sounds good. Doug, thank you so much for your time. Send it back to you. Where's your Fox 10? Where's my Fox 10 hat when I need it, you guys?
We'll send one out to you.
Yeah, and let Doug know that Beyonce fans working for him too.
I'll let him know.
Thank you, Dom.